Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk, NFTs, crypto, and Web3. I am your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today, she is the director of Astrobaby NFT. Please welcome Fey Fey. Hello, Fey Fey.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Fei Fei. I am the co-founder and lead artist of Astrobaby.
That's really, really cool. Great to meet you. But I definitely want to go ahead and get started with this interview by asking, where are you from, and tell us about your upbringing.
I am born and raised in China. My upbringing, I grew up in a very common single child family in China, and I was
Mhm.
sent to United States when I was 17 years old. Um, Growing up, I think my grandpa is definitely the biggest influence of the whole family. He's a
Mhm.
traditional Chinese doctor and he practiced Chinese herbs.
Mhm.
So he got a blood cancer like long time ago, and then he used the herbs to cure himself. And after that, he has been practicing the Chinese herb and cured a lot of people. So from him, I
Wow.
always just get a sense of like you have to go out to help people when people are really need you, and also I just really get a sense of, you have to take care of your body at an early age. If you don't do
Mhm.
that, your body probably cannot carry you for a long journey, cannot really
Yeah.
carry you to wherever you want to be. So
Mhm.
that is something that I really want to introduce into the Astro Baby because I feel like wellness is something that we all should care about, and especially
Mhm.
alternative wellness. I grew up in this household that very
Mhm.
immersed into this alternative wellness. So I want to share with everyone.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that's really, really, really amazing. Like, I think natural medicine is very, very important, special herbal medicine. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like food is the medicine, the natural food, like the, fruits and vegetables,
totally.
supplements, that's very, very important. Absolutely. But I definitely want to go ahead and ask, like, what were like your influences growing up before you got into, art and things like that?
I think influence, except my grandpa, also my mom. My mom, she's a female entrepreneur.
Hmm.
She does export import business in China. So she always the one kind of encouraged me to explore the outside world, and very she's very confident in her, the way she kind of like talk to people. She never thought, she's a woman, so probably she should talk in a different way. She's
Right.
very, like straightforward. I think on that aspect, she really inspired me a lot. And
Hmm.
because she does those kind of like a foreign trading things, so I always have the interest in like the business side, like, oh, how can I provide something that people need and how can I market it. So
Hmm.
it's been very fun for me.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. But I definitely want to also ask, like, how did you get exposed to NFTs and Web3 by any chance?
That's very interesting question. So for the Web3, like I mentioned, I always have the interest in the investment. So I started to invest um in the crypto when the pandemic first happened, because I feel like,
Mhm.
that's a high time. Everyone started just like throwing money into the crypto world, and
Right.
it was a lot of fun, but I also realized that I had to know what are those things. So I took
Mhm.
a big dive into the research. I think my first research around the Web3 was ICO,
Mhm.
like what is ICO and all about it, and then slowly turn to like a more in-depth research around the Bitcoin, the
Mhm.
Ethereum framework, ERC 21, those things. So it just been very interesting. As for the NFT, my other co-founder, Romy,
Mhm.
her boyfriend is one of those first people start to launch NFT collection. And,
Mhm.
at that time, we're all like, this is a joke. But he's like, I'm going in, believe it or not. And we're like, okay. And then he really, made his way in NFT world. We like, oh, wow, we really missed out. And NFT is such a powerful tool that it can create a community to connect all those like-minded people. So we're like, okay, maybe we should try our luck in the NFT world as well. Especially we want to have a community that all into astrology and Web3. So here we are.
Yeah, right, exactly, most definitely. But I definitely want to get into like the story about Astrobaby. So, like, tell us about how Astrobaby NFT came about, and tell us like the story behind it.
Yeah, so Astrobaby is a product that sorry, not product, project me and Romy we hold very dearly in our heart. It all started in the pandemic. So Romy got trapped into in New York when the pandemic first happened. As you know, New York apartment is so tight and so claustrophobic. So she was very isolated and very frustrated with everything's going on around the COVID and in New York. So at the time she feel like, okay, so she needs some like help to like, especially for emotion or like mentally, because she feel like she's losing her sanity. Then she started practice yoga, and also she started to do a lot of like self-care ceremony, which included full moon, new moon ceremony. And then she also found so much affirmation and validation through the astrology. And meanwhile, the same year I was in the Mexico, spent a year. I was very lucky compared to Romy. I was surrounded by a bunch of people who into energy healing, spirituality, astrology, and that community was just so warm and nourishing. And after I left Mexico, I just feel like I really miss that community. And but it feels like that community is geographically fixed in Mexico or somewhere, like a beach town or somewhere, or Bali. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's time to create a community that, we all can find each other online and across the globe in the Web3 world, that we all appreciate the spirituality, we all appreciate the astrology's positivity. And Romy agreed with me, so here we are.
Wow, that's really, really cool. But I definitely want to also get into just more about into the wellness. Like, so how important is it within the Astrobaby NFT to promote not only, astrology, but also wellness as well? Like, how do you like combine the two?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So, like I mentioned, from astrology, you can get so much sense of the self-validation, affirmation. A lot of people, when they have like self-doubt or insecurity, they will go online. There are some YouTube videos, they are so popular. They just be like, oh, how to practice like different type of practice. Like, for example, I know there's one, it's called a mirror practice. Basically, you just talk to yourself in the positive way. Like, when you face to a mirror, basically you're talking to yourself and be like, hey, you are confident, you are empowered woman. So for astrology, I think it's similar to that. You get to know your chart to see that, oh, okay, I actually have this gift. It's already in my chart and I know it. So I should really grasp it. Or I probably will have this challenge on this aspect. So I will need to put more work into this. So people will have, for us, we always think that astrology is like it's like a user menu, to teach you how to use your body and how to use your gift, the gift that you are born with. So on that aspect, we're able to help people to kind of, make them feel like they are validated and they are worthy. So, and besides that, we also do, like a meditation definitely is very helpful for the mental wellness or even the physical wellness. So integrating the meditation into the full moon ceremony and the new moon ceremony is very important because, astrologically speaking, the moon rule the emotion.
Right.
So I'm not sure if you ever see, there's a video of NASA released the moon move around the earth, and it actually drives the movement of the tide. So because the moon actually can change the geomagnetic field, so it can impact into water. And our body, human's body, 70% is made of water. So, the moon energy can also impact our body. So sometimes we might feel like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit down today, or I'm feeling a little bit woozy today. Sometimes it has something to do with the Earth's geomagnetic field and also the moon. So if we give some instruction around the moon, the new moon or full moon, it can help people to better tune in with your body, like what is going on with your body. Do I need to take a break, or should I just, put more effort and really push it? So I think just try to connect the people with the natural energy is something that we feel like we can really help with people with wellness. And other than that, astrology, there is an area of astrology can also associate with physical health. Like for each sign, they actually have a different weak organ on their body. For example, I'm a Virgo, so actually my stomach is a reflectory area on my body. So by teaching this kind of knowledge to our audience, people will know that, oh, okay, I'm a this sign and I have a this placement, so maybe I should take care of my this organ much more, because when I have a stress, I would definitely have the discomfort around this part of my body first, and that would be the sign. Means that I need to slow down. I need to take some time for myself. I need to do a meditation or something to let the stress out, so I can back to the healthy state again. I'm not sure if this answer your question. It's a lot of things going on. I can talk about astrology all day, every day.
Yeah, I find it very interesting because I like how you tie in wellness with astrology, because I think when people think of astrology, it's just the planets and the zodiac signs, but people don't get into, like how you just explained, like there's different facets into astrology and how it really, combines with wellness. I like with our generation now, we're getting more into talking about mental health. And, I think to me, being an advocate for mental health is very, very important. Really finding ways to relieve stress. You don't have to go through you don't have to do like bad things, like, do like things that are healthy for you, like drink water, keep yourself hydrated, like how we mentioned earlier, like, a healthy diet. I think that's things that's very, very important. But also too, I think it's also okay to seek help as well. But I definitely want to go and switch gears. Is what are some sources do you provide for both mental and emotional health?
You mean inside of the Astrobaby or in general?
Inside the Astrobaby NFT space.
Mental health. So for us, we actually collaborate with some of the people in the community, in the Web3 community. I'm not sure if you ever heard of this name, Jana. She's awesome. She's a great healer. So sometimes we collaborate with her and we give some recommendation of, like full moon, new moon, or if you are this sign, what is the best practice you should do around self-care. Other than that, we also create a bunch of content on our Discord. If you check out our Discord, there's a channel, it's called Astro Class. So in that, we always give the information around the education. So we believe that this community need a lot of education to lay a good access for the people who want to join us. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. But I definitely want to go ahead and switch gears and talk about the illustrations for the NFT, the Astrobaby NFT, because I find it very unique from a lot of the different NFT collections, because it's very pixelated. You know what I mean? It reminds me like those old school games, it's like pixelated games, or like Sega games like Sonic or, Mario and things like that. So what was the decision behind like having that type of style for each of the NFT characters?
I think for us, we always want to go with something retro, kind of like a Y2K style. our influence is Tamagotchi. So we think Tamagotchi is very cute. We definitely want to kind of like a channel with that kind of cuteness that make girl feel like, oh, it's something that is so cute. I just want to put my hand on it. But also, meanwhile, we want to create something that is like, accessible for everyone. So it does not have to be like very complicated to understand the art style. So then we just find the pixel style is great.
Yeah, it's really, really amazing. But I
Thank
also
you.
want to talk about more of like how important it is to promote other artists, especially how important it is as well as like collaboration.
I think promoting artists is one of our very important focus, and also we've been also trying to promote astrologers in this field because fundamentally we want to kind of like help all the content creator in this field. So for artists, when we first started launch, we have a campaign. It's called Astro Love Gallery, and it still exists in form of a channel on our Discord. So basically, we select some artists that we really like and we really want to support, and we think that they definitely should have more audience because they deserve more popularity. So we'll talk to them and be like, hey, we really want to feature you guys and introduce you guys to our audience. Would it be okay to have a one piece of your art featured in our Astro Love Gallery? So basically, Astro Love Gallery, as you probably already seen, I show you the picture. We put the artist's art into this template that we made. Just to kind of like integrate the art style into the Astrobaby template and make it look like you are clicking and seeing a browser from your laptop. So basically, it becomes something can be a content on the social media. So it helps the artist to raise more exposure. They also able to have something as a content and also like a validation. Like for example, you are doing me a favor as promoting my awareness. So for us, we consider that's a way to help other artists to promote their awareness.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But in regards to
sorry, I'm not done yet. I just
go ahead.
hard. Now I'm circling back. So we also do the metaverse event. So for our metaverse event, we actually also featured a lot of new artists on the wall. So when people come to visit our metaverse, they will see there's a description on the side of this art that they can click to know like who the art is, what is a link, what is this art about, and where I can buy this art. And besides of that, we also give away a lot of new projects allowless in our own community. So yeah, that's the way so far we've been supporting the artists.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. But I also want to get into as well. Do you plan like in regards to also with utility, for the NFT project? Do you plan on having like your own line of products, like Astrobaby, maybe like supplements or like teas, Is that something that you guys plan down the line possibly?
Yes, actually, indeed. We are launching our e-commerce. Romy, she's in charge of it. And so far, we are testing different product on the Facebook by using the Facebook ad to see like which product probably will win more market. But for us, we really focusing on the wellness aspect and also the astrology aspect. So we think there are so many good product in the market, but they are not aggregated together. So we really want to curate those products in the market and kind of aggregate the demand and get a discount only for our holders, but also, helping those small business to be able to reach to the audience that they really want to reach to. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. But I definitely want to also ask you about Discord. So how important is it to, have Discord just in terms of having a community for an NFT project? And also is that a requirement for, when someone wants to start their own NFT collection project?
I think Discord is very, very important. But it's also kind of like hard to navigate at the first place. For us, we distributed all the exclusive content. Like for example, we've been doing the financial astrology forecast on our Discord. So those part of the content that we only release on our Discord. So for Discord, we've been using it as a platform that we can connect with our community, manage our community, and also distribute the content that we want to distribute it to. Because if you only do it on the Twitter, people probably only see it at this very specific time on their feed, and the next day they couldn't find it anymore. It's hard to find it.
Right.
But on Discord, everything will still be there, and they are well curated. So for us, it's almost like an archive.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. But I also want to talk about in terms of like minting NFTs. So, what is the whole process behind minting NFT? Because I know it's putting it on the blockchain, but what is it in regards to like the minimum and maximum minting, in regards to just NFTs? If you can explain that
Yeah.
more.
So for us, after our first minting, initially we provide a free minting, but now since we already started the first mint, so we only do the normal mint, which is 0.02 Ethereum for each Astrobaby, and if you purchase it, you probably don't know which one are you gonna get. So it's like a raffling, and and then now we only open the minting on the full moon. We only open for like a couple days. So people, whoever want to mint, they can either mint around the full moon, or they can go on OpenSea to kind of like get their Astrobaby. A lot of people complain that there's no actual astrology sign on it, because we think that some people, they get it, they like, oh, I like this, or I like the other one, but it has a different sign from my sign. So it just created a lot of confusion for people. So for us, we have this rule that we already make the star sign for each person, and each PFP. So people can actually stake this token. Is not actual token. It's not on any blockchain. Only on Discord and issued by our bot. So holders, they can actually claim the star token every single day. Every day you got 15 tokens, and then once you accumulated 150 tokens, you can buy from our Discord. We have a store that you can buy the horoscope sign, and then once you've purchased, you got a role for the horoscope sign owner. You can open a ticket with us and just tell us your favorite color and your sign and your PFP number. So we will generate a customized PFP for you, that we will add a sign in your favorite color on your PFP. So, and in the future, if you want to give this PFP or this NFT to your friends, it's all separated. So your NFT will still remain the same, but your PFP is all customizable.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. But I definitely want to go ahead and ask, like, in regards to being in the NFT and Web3 space. So, what is your take in regards to the growth of NFTs and Web3, especially with different NFT collections? There's one of one artists, coming out. Like, what's your take on the growth of NFTs and Web3?
The growth of NFT. That's an interesting question. You mean regard to the sale or the popularity or just NFT market in general?
The NFT market, but also the popularity.
I think NFT, because NFT is so different from other normal art, because of the Web3 technology, it make it more global, and it has definitely more function that you can use in real life, but also online. There's so many potential around it. So I think that in the future, it will be something, I always believe that the Web3 will replace Web 2 one day, just like how Web 2 replaced the Web 1. So I think the NFT itself in the future, if it really serve like a token, or a membership, it actually opens a lot of doors for a lot of small business owner. Like for example, our friend Sierra, she actually owns a crystal shop. So her NFT owners can get like a very great discount to buy any of the crystal in her online store. And to enter into her store, you can try to like verify your token, which is her NFT. And once you are verified, you have the access to all the discount. I think that part, it just, now we think that, oh, it's so many layers of the confusion. But probably in another 2 years, 3 years, we'll feel like, oh, wow, yeah, great. I have Astrobaby NFT, so I can have access to this and that right away.
Right. It's very interesting because like, I like how, people are like saying, yo, let me give this NFT Web3 thing a try, and everyone's art style is so different, but also too, I like how people are getting into utility, not just having artwork out, to sell, but it's like, hey, if you buy this NFT, if you buy my artwork, this is what you'll get in exchange. So that's what I really like people really getting more into the business and marketing plus supply and demand aspect of being in the NFT Web3 space.
Yeah, I think that part is very interesting because I feel like a market now is very well educated, and I think that's one of the reasons why the NFT market is not doing very well at this moment, because people are holding definitely more. People want to observe more how it evolves, because we probably know that there are a lot of NFT projects. They first came out great, but they rocked. So people definitely are more careful about it. But I think, NFT itself, it can be so many different things, like Gary Vee mentioned. It can be membership. It can be, a golden ticket to some cool event. So it can be everything. So there's a huge potential around it. It just really depends how people use it and which direction people want it to turn to.
Yeah, I could totally agree with that. Because when I first learned about NFTs, like it was like kind of like last year, and I didn't really think too much about it. I was like, I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, all my friends like, oh, it's not something that you can hold in your hand. But I was like, but it can bring you something that you can actually hold in your hand. I think that's the purpose of the NFT, that is online. Like for example, if you have something in your hand, you have to physically travel with. But once
Right,
it's online, it's always there. Wherever you go to, you have the access to it right away.
right.
And you can use this access to access something physical. But if you in China, we don't really carry the wallet anymore. Wherever we go, we use WeChat Pay. We just scan a QR code and pay. I think that will be the same effect of NFT in the future, that it can replace something that we physically holding, that we take it for granted. But in the future, we probably don't need to hold it anymore. It becomes something that already on the cloud, that can help us to navigate our normal life.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting as well. But let me ask you this: like, are NFTs popular in China? But
It's very popular. Yeah, actually, a lot of people, a lot of big NFT either holder or investor, told me that they think that either 60% or around 70% of the market are Chinese. I mean, not like the project holder. I think probably the investors or the buyers in this market, they are Chinese. But interestingly, the market itself is still in US. So there's a lot of things going on. I think, it's a global environment, and the market really need both. They need US creativity when it comes to development, but they also need the capitals from China.
Yeah. That's very, very interesting. I find that very, very interesting, but also too, like, this technology is pretty new. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that like I could tell like there's a lot of people jumping into the space every day, trying to see how they can maneuver, but also take advantage of this opportunity, of this new wave of technology. I
Right.
think I think NFTs and Web3 is here to stay. I don't think it's gonna go anytime soon. But I definitely want to ask your
I
perspective on,
agree.
do you think that NFTs are here to stay, especially with Web3, or do you think it eventually will die down?
I think NFT exists for a reason. And like I said, that there are a lot of NFT getting out of the market because
Right.
they don't really serve any function. They don't really
Mhm.
have any culture in it. They don't really have
Mhm.
a core of the content that keep the audience running. I first started to notice the NFT market start to going a downtrend because everyone go back to work. People
Mhm.
complain about, oh, the Discord is not that active anymore because people have been back to work. People are working. It's not like
Mhm.
before, because pandemic, everything just on pause. So I think also kind of associate with the philosophy that I learned from astrology. Everything is a cycle.
Mhm.
So now we are probably at the end of this cycle, about to move to the next new
Mhm.
era that you know some very new technology gonna change our life like for good. So I think we are at this, the downtrend right now. We are about to go up. So um, there are there are just so many functions that people can build around NFT. Um,
Mhm.
and I think NFT itself is just a form of token, essentially, or
Mhm.
membership, or it can be anything. So yeah, I think it's here for staying.
Mhm.
But it really depends on how people going to um, change it,
Right.
evolve it, along with technology, what it can bring for the holders. Can it actually bring the physical things in people's hand? Can it actually improve people's life? Can it actually bring more conveniency and like a life quality to people?
Right. Mhm. Yeah. Absolutely. I hope definitely that NFTs and Web3 is, this space is utilized in a positive way because, and what I'm seeing also too, like people want something unique, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you look at, what I've been looking at and researching is about like AR, augmented reality, especially with fashion, metaverse fashion, like people want like something that's really cool, really, really unique. So even if they're not wearing it in real life, they can, get online, and choose an outfit and they'll wear it,
Yeah,
and
it's very cool.
yeah, the AR, VR reality, especially with VR. You look at IMVU, you look at, there's like this one game I played called Friendzoo. I was a
Mm-hmm.
big fan of The Sims, and you could just express your character however, and it's really cool to see how, AI is playing a role within, AR, but also just within fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I think for recent years, um, our sense of the culture changed a lot of the technology a lot.
Hmm.
I think for a lot of brand, they really try to get into the um, high tech field. Like for example, there's a brand. It's called Rebecca Minkoff. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. It's a
Mm-mm.
Rebecca Minkoff. So basically, I know the founder. She actually started her business around the Bay Area. She actually want to use the technology integrated into the normal people shopping experience.
Hmm.
So I forgot which technology she used, but it really make people feel like, oh wow, I am shopping in a totally different environment with high technology. And
Right.
they also joined the NFT, the Web3 community, and launched their
Right.
NFT. So I think there are so many layer of the coolness around the technology that really attracted people and bring a lot of marketing value for even the brands in the Web2. So yeah, I think that's the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I definitely want to go ahead and switch gears and talk about with the metaverse, because I know you mentioned that before. But I definitely wanted to go ahead and ask, like, do you plan on maybe possibly like, doing more with the metaverse, especially like, other things like with VR and AR possibly, or are you just gonna stick with the metaverse?
What is the difference?
So
Because I
like
feel like they're quite
they're
aligned
quite
together,
similar.
intertwined together.
So like with AR, it's kind of like reality mixed with virtual.
Mm.
And with VR, it's all virtual. It's all virtual
Oh.
reality. Like how I said about The Sims, and like also IMVU, Second Life. Those are all virtual. So it's kind of
Mm.
like VR, or like you look at if you have like a VR game, you wear those goggles. That's how I can tell the difference. Like AR is more so with a mixture of reality with
Mm.
virtual. You look at like Pokemon Go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was popular when I was in high school. Pokemon Go was the thing that everyone played. You walk down the street, your Pokemon, your virtual Pokemon be there in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my
So
co-founder Romy, she's a big fan of the Pokemon Go. She will just, in a rainy day, take the train from Brooklyn to Grand Central to capture some rare Pokemon. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I think both of those things have a different value, but I think the VR part definitely need a lot of more infrastructure to support it,
mm,
because we experienced we host a lot of spatial. It's really fun, but also it's hard
mm-hmm,
for a lot of people to access, because sometimes people will be like, oh, I don't have a fast internet, so it's always being kind of like a lagging on my end.
right,
um, or some people, we try to do a group voice space on spatial the other day, but
mm-hmm,
I think because there are so many polygons, the machine have to calculate, and also
mm-hmm,
there are so many audio input into the system,
mm-hmm,
so it really jammed the system. So the whole thing did not pull off. So the
mm-hmm,
experience was not good. So I think so for VR, it really need a strong infrastructure to support like the internet, very
right,
high speed internet, or the
mm-hmm,
development. How can we optimize the data online and upload everything and also download everything in the optimal form? Um, yeah, and also just technology wise, it just need more improvement. But I'm very bullish on VR. They're like Decentraland, Sandbox. All
yeah,
those things are very thriving in the space. So yeah, I think there are a lot of potential around it. As for AR, yeah, I think it's definitely more accessible for people. Like you mentioned, the
right,
Pokemon Go, people already think that, oh, Pokemon Go is awesome. I love Pokemon Go, and it's AR
mm-hmm,
game. So the I think a lot of people, they still want to be social to other people. If you
right,
only social online, it's one of the way. But if you do AR, you can actually social with people in real life. For example, Why Hell is my best friend Romy, the other co-founder. We
right,
just we just go to the park, and then we catch some Pokemon, and it's
mm-hmm,
fun. So I think they both serve different purpose in our life, and I will see how it goes.
mm-hmm. Yeah, but where do you see like Astrobaby in the next couple of years? Like, what's next for Astrobaby?
Um, the next for Astrobaby, for us, we really want to build a global community that
Mhm.
everyone is bullish on Web3 technology, but also bullish on astrology. Like I mentioned, astrology have so many potential to provide the enhancement on so many different industry. So
Right.
far, we are doing the financial astrology. So the financial astrology is that our astrologer, she actually print out the whole price chart of Bitcoin and mark the moon cycle along with it to collect all those data. So it's not only based on theory, but also based on the practice to collect the data and kind of like find a pattern in the financial market or the crypto market. So I think for astrology, people mistook it as something very woo-woo-ish, but we think astrology is always about a pattern. Like how does your human being's pattern kind of align with the universe pattern? So we think that in the future, we definitely want to bring more like I mentioned, the health aspect into the astrology. How can we improve our health through the understanding of the astrology?
Right.
Or there's also, the relationship part. Like how can you improve your relationship quality, no matter with your partner or your friend, through astrology? Or how do you I know there are some people on Instagram, they are very, very famous for promoting how do you manage your finance along with your astrology chart. So
Right.
we really want to build a global community and really educate people and to hold a lot of those kind of workshop to bring people into the discussion of the astrology and along with Web3 technology.
Yeah,
Oh, and
absolutely.
also the e-commerce.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I really like that, like I said again, how you're about like technology, but also about, mental health and wellness, because that all, ties into like the beauty industry, because the beauty industry,
Mhm.
health applies, how to beautify your skin, everyone's looking for something natural to help with, like skin conditions, skin disorders,
Yeah.
looking for natural teas to better their health. So it's really, really cool what you're doing. But last but not least, where can people find Astrobaby on social media, and tell us about any upcoming events and how people can support Astrobaby NFT?
So everyone can just follow us on Twitter, Astrobaby NFT, and we only have a one account, so don't fall for the liar. There are a lot of them. Um,
Right.
and we are also on OpenSea.
Mhm.
OpenSea, there are some scammers try to fake us, but our NFT collection on the OpenSea is called Astrobaby NFT Official. So if you want to buy one, not during the full moon, feel free to do that. And as for minting one on our official website, you can go to astrobaby.ft.xyz. But make sure you mint around the full moon, because if you don't mint around the full moon, it will show you a crazy high gas fee. That's actually our
Mhm.
default, just to prevent people mint like outside of the full moon time.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much, Fei Fei, for jumping onto the show and talking
Thank
about
you for having
Astrobaby.
me.
Yeah, you're most welcome. I really enjoyed, learning about your NFT collection. I love what you're standing for about, like I said, health and wellness is very, very important, especially with education, and
Yeah,
astrology. So that's really, really cool. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews involving Web3, NFTs, crypto, and the metaverse.